So I've had a partner for the past couple months now, and it's been really good, Like I've had a lot of fun hanging out with her, just chilling, just kind of just how letting things happen naturally. But I do realize that even me with myself, that a lot of men in general are just very lonely. And now it's starting to become very rare for someone to find a good partner. And I gotta say is that just because I have a partner now does not mean that I will never forget the times where I was severely lonely, and not just the dating department either. Like I was lonely in a lot of other departments too in my life, like having not having a lot of friends at one point, and then also just not having a lot of support, whether it's no family or nothing. And that was probably the hardest part to overcome. And of course, no partner on top of it. It was definitely a severely lonely experience, and there was times in my life where I just felt like, damn, man, I feel like I wasn't cared about enough, but this isn't about me. This is for all the other men who are suffering from this. All I want to say is to everybody is I am very sorry about everything that you're going through, because there's a lot of people who are genuinely nice and they have a hard time finding partners too. Because I have a few friends that are a lot older than me that have stayed single and everything, or they just can't find someone that just to kind of be compatible with them or even work with them, because there's always a lot of bad eggs. And I realized as I got older, it is the reason why a lot more nicer people are having a hard time finding partners is because there's a lot more less nicer people that are single than people that are not nice that are single, or just not a red flag in general. And it's honestly really sad and depressing to really think about, and it really does give me a different perspective of how lucky I truly feel. Now, I know I've been only dating my partner for a very short period of time, but this is the first time I've actually felt like super cared about to the point where like someone wanted something long term with me. And I find that shit kind of sweet, because I never had this before and everything. And the fact that someone after wanted to do something like this with me, wanted to actually commit a life like this and work things out and also work together as a team, man, like I just never thought I would ever find that myself. And that's another reason why I'm making this video. Dating in 2025 is definitely very hard and everything. And I will never forget the hard times. I've even tried, even trying using dating apps and stuff. And I remember getting some matches, and it also made me realize how ugly I felt on those things for a long time too. But thankfully, that gave me a perspective, realizing that those dating apps are all kind of BS in a way. Like a lot of them are just really a shallow contest of who's more attractive for a lot of people, and that you don't really necessarily have to have a dating app these days to find someone still. And it's a lot better to even go out and interact with new people, that if you can, than just to go on a fucking dating app and just hope for the best. But I will gladly not take this opportunity for granted, man, because there's a lot of people who take their partners for granted, or even their really nice partners for granted, and treat them like crap. And no one deserves to be really treated like shit in a relationship. I don't know why it's so normalized to be for people to be, being treated like crap and stuff. But for me, you shouldn't. I'm cherishing every minute of it. I really do hope you guys find some happiness in your life, and if it doesn't end up being with a partner, man, I hope you can find something that helps you strive for something better. Like if you have a great opportunity with a business career, or even have a really good hobby and show off your talents, man, because there's a lot of talented people I've also seen that happen to be single and everything, and very intelligent and smart people that will be doing a lot of great things in their life as well. And I find that shit absolutely incredible. The good thing is that I do have a few friends that are still single, and they're living life happier than ever, man. There's some that's completely worked their ass off to save a bunch of money. There's other friends I've had that are really happy going fishing in a pond and a lake and everything, and finding some really good hobbies and finding their true selves too before they even pursue something serious. Because I notice a lot of people who are feeling this way, man, are usually the ones that are having a hard time with hobbies, and some of them are having a hard time just kind of accepting themselves as being a single person during this time. It also makes you realize that not everyone's life is the same, man. That everyone's journey is a little bit different, and that's honestly okay. There's some people who may not find someone serious until they're like their early 30s or 40s. But one thing I will say is that there are some flaws actually being in a relationship that a lot of people don't talk about. No, I'm not talking about the relationship itself, but there's a lot of things you have to compromise in order for the relationship to work. Now, you don't have to let the person control you or nothing. You don't have to do any of that, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you got to be able to find a balance between each other's like interests and likes and needs to be met in order for this to work. A life really does tend to throw a lot of curveballs, and sometimes, man, you may not even realize it. But another thing that's also really sweet from one of my other buddies is that, like, he's single, right? He's about to be mid-30s and everything, and he decides that he just doesn't really seem to care about looking for someone anymore. But he has a really cool gun business, right? He has a business where he sells guns and everything, and he also rides a lot of motorcycles, and he also kind of works on motorcycles and a lot of automotive stuff, and I find that shit to be very dope. I used to work with him and everything at the Amazon warehouse, but I do sometimes think about him and miss him. I have his phone number, so there's times I do still talk to him and keep up, but he's kind of like an old school type of dude where he doesn't really like a lot of social media or use a lot of like texting or nothing. So every once in a while when I do see him, we usually just text something to meet up somewhere. Like, don't feel bad either for being single, because I've had a lot of fun my whole life before I found something like this, you know. And I gotta say, some of the best times for me were when I was single, just enjoying life with my buddies, especially when we were playing beer pong and everything. Like, I don't like to drink a whole lot, but I will play beer pong, but you know, with like water or some shit. But it's still fun. And every once in a while, I did like drink socially when I was younger a little bit, just so like some light stuff, because I'm severely lightheaded and everything, so I can't really have a lot of alcohol to begin with, and a lot of it, in my opinion, as a natural daily consumption, is just a waste of time. Perhaps that could be another video for another time. But yeah, man, go out there and have some fun being single, man, and learn to cherish the opportunity when you can, because eventually you're going to look back one day and realize, man, I wish I was, you know, single more often. So when this whole transition phase you guys have, go for it, dude. Enjoy it. Anyways, everybody, thank you guys so much for listening. That's all I got to say about this topic. But thank you all so much. I really appreciate you guys watching me and everything. And I do appreciate you guys watching my last video, even though it wasn't a lot of Call of Duty. I wanted to try something a little different on the channel, because I've been experimenting with a lot of video games recently, and I want to try some other games. But perhaps the non-Call of Duty footage would be side footage from now on. So that's how I know that what works and what doesn't, I guess. But thank you all for staying tuned in and everything. I'll see y'all in the next video, and you guys take care.